Hello everyone, this is Jack from Dr. Preset. Today I'm going to show you how to turn the Nexcell lithium phosphate blades into a 12-volt battery. With a 12-volt battery, you can power either the UPS, you can power the security system, you can power the inverter, you can even put it in your car as the accessory battery. So there's a lot of application to turn this into 12-volt battery. And if you have total 14 blade, I mean you have 14 12-volt battery that can at your disposal. This thing has around 6.5 amp hour of power. It's equivalent to a motorcycle battery. However, it can output up to 300 amp. Okay, so it's way overkill to being a 12-volt battery, but at the same time it means that it can last a long time, because the BMS you get is probably won't be able to support more than like 60 or 80 amp. All right, so let me show you what exactly you need to make this into a 12-volt battery. First thing, of course, you need a Nexcell lithium phosphate blades. It is total of 5 cell in there, 5 lithium phosphate cell, and today's job is to reduce it to 4 cells so that it will become 12 volt. Okay, and the second thing you need is the BMS. I got this from AliExpress, a very popular one. It costs about $10. It's lithium phosphate 4S, mean 4 in series 12-volt battery BMS. It has the discharge current of 50 amp. You can find one with 60, 80, or probably even 100 amp more for more expensive one. And the charge current at 25 amp, so more than enough for my application. I'm going to use it on my UPS, the uninterrupted power system. Let me just show you really quick what I was talking about. See, this over here is the UPS powering all the 3D printer, and the 3D printer is connecting to the UPS. This is what we power. This alone can sustain like 5 minutes of the 3D printing if ever there's a power outage situation. All right, let me open it up for you and show you really quickly. This is where the BMS is. Today's job is to connect, take out this cell, and put the blade in there, put the BMS in there, and connect these two. All right, we're gonna follow the same. Let's continue with the tool that require. You're gonna need, a cutter, a wire cutter. You're gonna need a pickup tool. You're gonna need a scissor, or even better, a heavy-duty scissor to cut through the copper bus bar. And you're gonna need an 11mm socket, and of course you're gonna need the soldering iron, a big one like this one from Weller. This is 80 watt of the soldering power right here. Okay, without further ado, let's get the job started. All right, first thing you need to do is take out the hexagon nut over here. Be careful, do not short the negative and positive terminal, otherwise we will have spark flying. Don't want spark. All right, and take out the old circuit board. This circuit board is designed specifically for Toyota and Lexus hybrids, so it doesn't have the current cutoff. Okay, it only balance, it doesn't do the cutoff, but this one will do the cutoff. It has a big MOSFET in there, multiple big MOSFET, so it can cut off the power completely if it's overcharged or over discharged, and that's what we're gonna use today. All right, and first thing first, you clean this out. Okay, and what you need to do, let's take out the phone here. What we're gonna do right now is to take out this cell, this additional cell that we no longer need. Remember, this is a 12-volt system, so we only need 4 lithium phosphate. Okay. Okay, so let's clean it up. And even though you don't need it anymore, I would still suggest to carefully take out this cell. Okay, that's why I preheat my soldering iron for like 5 minutes, wait for it to have full power before I desolder these 2 copper bus bar. Okay, while we're waiting for the soldering iron to get hot, let me see. Yeah, it's on. You need probably 5 minutes. We can continue with the BMS wiring. This balance port, this is connect each cell and connect the cell to the BMS so it can read the voltage on every single cell, the 4 cell here. Since there are 4 cells, it means you have 5 cable, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, starting with the most negative one. So instead of the cut and connect, what we're gonna do, what I'm gonna show you is like a shortcut, okay? Basically, you cut this and give it like 10 centimeter left. Cut it like this short and stripping the wire. You strip the wire, all of them. And twist them, make them look very clean and nice. Since you are going to remove this cell over here, that means this wire will not be required. So instead of start from the most negative, the black one, you're gonna start from the white one. So you cut the black wire completely, and you're gonna start from the white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the soldering iron is hot enough. Then we can start the soldering work here. Again, what we're trying to do is take out this cell. So be careful with this. You don't want to touch this and that. It's gonna create a short circuit and burn everything. So I'll suggest maybe just put it back on for now. Okay, like so. Okay, and since this has heavy the insulation here, so you don't need to worry about this touching, shorting this two over here. See over here, this is multiple layer of the insulation. So what I do is put my plier here and start melting this. See, it melt immediately, and as soon as it's hot enough, I will be able to lift it up like so. Here we go. Take it out of the way and do the other side. Again, this has heavy insulation, so I don't need to worry about this shorting the other side. So same thing, heat it up, really good, and leave it. Take a look at this, beautiful. All right, now how to take it out. You can use anything, like the BNS right here. Here we go, break it free. Now you have a spare lithium phosphate cell available to you, like right here. Okay, so the plan is to insert this into the existing connector here, so you don't need to cut it. But before we insert, let's wet those tiny little wire first, so that they have a good contact with the connector inside. See, I use a small soldering iron to do the job, but you can do the big iron as well, depending on what you have. Alright, so once done, let's starting with the white wire. Alright, we got it all connected here. And before do anything more, let's double check the voltage. Start with the number 1, 3.2, 6.4, 9.7, and 12.95. Perfect. And now it's time to do the super glue trick. Once you seal it, you're not going to move it anymore forever. This thing is just gonna sip into it and glue everything permanently. So that's why you need to check the voltage first, otherwise you won't be able to do that again. All right, well, that's getting dry. Let's put the circuit board in there. So the BMS in there, B to the battery side. And let me put the foam back to secure the BMS better. And let's connect it, because once I put in there, it's not moving anymore. So this is the orientation I'm going with. All right, get in there. Always organize the cable. Here we go. Nicely tucked in there. All right, so let's put this down. All right, the final step. Let's connect the BMS in there. I put in there. Figure out all the wirings. Yeah, tuck it in very deeply. Okay, as deep as possible. All right, and now let's solder the B side, the battery side. 80 watt. Nice and soak. Cool it down. And it's not going anywhere. All right, turn around, do the other side. Man, I cut it too short, but it's not a problem. Melt it. Let it cool down. And done. All right, if you have insulation tape, in this case the Tipcon tape, put in there to insulate the cable, and make sure everything is insulated. All right, and use your voltmeter. Here we go, $12.95. You have a 12-volt battery available for you for only $10. And if you want, put the lid or the cover on. That's a whole package. And here you have it, folks. A 12-volt battery at your disposal. I'm going to use it. I'm gonna double out this UPS, basically connecting in parallel to power the entire 3D printing farm here. All right, hope this video helped you build this 12-volt battery, and also definitely email me if you find any trick that can make the job even easier. All right, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.